You are here with David and Ashley from the True Crime Journals. We just wanted to take a moment to distribute this unplanned emergency episode to help bring awareness to a mama. Her 18-year-old son was shot outside of a gas station, and they are really looking for people to help them out in order to solve her son's murder. David brought this to my attention the other day. He was like, hey, I think this is really important for what we do, but not only what we do, to help this mom get some closure. So I will pass it over to David and let him tell us the specifics of this case.
The name Ophelia Nichols doesn't sound familiar, then maybe the name Shoe Lover 99 does. Ophelia is virtually everyone's mother who needs one and everyone's friend in any way in between. She records herself daily, reminding her 8.4 million tater tots that we are all loved, needed, heard, and valued. All of her fans and followers were heartbroken when our number one supporter reached out to us for support herself. It's no surprise when 8.4 million tater tots combined forces and gifted her back with the love that she needed. Through TikTok videos, prayers, letters, financial donations, and the use of any and all platforms we have to bring justice to the Nichols family. As everyone knows, family is number one to Mama Tot, and Mama Tot received a call that no parent should ever get. Hours before her child's 19th birthday, Randon Lee was shot in a gas station parking lot in Pritchard, Alabama. According to Detective Hadaway, the suspect got into Randon Lee's car. There was one shot, and then the suspect exited the car, getting back into his black vehicle and left the scene. Randon Lee drove across the street to another gas station parking lot where he died. Of course, everyone wants to know the what, when, where, and why. And here are my thoughts on that, Ashley. So the what? An 18-year-old child was murdered. This should have been the best time of his life, and his life was just beginning. When? The day before his 19th birthday on June 24th of 2022. Where? Happened in Pritchard, Alabama at a gas station on St. Stephen's Road. And the why? Ashley, I hate this question because it doesn't matter. Sometimes the why, I feel, leads to victim blaming, and I don't want our platform to be used for that. Publicly, it has been announced that a drug deal potentially went bad. But to me, that doesn't matter. A young man was murdered.
I'm even hesitant to call it a drug deal because I was reading that he was selling marijuana, which quite honestly, in this day and age and with how many states it's legal in, I don't even think that quantifies as a drug anymore.
She said that he comes from good people. And when I heard that, I felt like she felt she was having to justify because of the stigmas that come with marijuana.
I agree with what you said too about her making that statement almost as a way to feel like she needed to justify it herself, because just to kind of lay this out for those of you that are not familiar with the state of Alabama, Pritchard is outside of Mobile, and the entire state of Alabama, regardless, is 1000% part of the Bible Belt and very conservative state. I feel almost as if she was justifying it to prevent judgment. And like you said, the why doesn't really matter. The fact is, an 18-year-old was shot.
A human being was murdered. I don't like the thought of her having to feel like that she's having to justify anything.
Especially when she doesn't have any answers herself. So
Right.
to put her in a position where you were asking her to pull answers out of the sky isn't fair either.
The potential marijuana drug deal should not trump the fact that someone with a gun is out on the streets today with at least one person's blood on their hands.
But one of the articles I read, it did somewhat shed a positive light because it seemed like they at least had a vehicle description and possibly some suspects.
If anyone has any information, please contact the Pritchard Police in Alabama at 251-452-2211.
To Ophelia Nichols, her family, her friends, everybody around her, from those of us here at the True Crime Journals and the special edition on Surviving Abuse podcast, we are sending all of you light and love.